So how's everybody today? Good. All right, my name's Louie Curiel, and I was trying to think, and we got the assignment. I was trying to think really, like, I honestly couldn't think of anything to talk about, and the only thing that came to my mind was my great grandmother. I never really lost anyone like close to me before, and she was pretty close to me. I mean, not like super close. I never lived with her or anything, but her death still had an impact on my life. And just to start out, kind of a funny story. We go to San Diego pretty much every summer. I'm from El Centro, California, which is kind of like really like the southern tip, and she had a beach house there. And so every summer we would go up there, and I remember one time it was like a Sunday, it was nice out, so all the kids were outside playing, and she had shown me this beehive that was upstairs. I was like, oh, that's cool, Grandma. She's like, oh yeah, look at all the bees. I was like, all right, yeah, cool. And so we started walking downstairs, and I like felt something crawl on my legs, so I looked down, and there's a bee crawling up, and I was like, oh, Grandma, there's a bee on me. And for some reason, she started swatting my leg all up, and the bee ended up stinging me. I was like a little kid, so I cried. And she looked at me, she said, stop being such a baby, Louie. When I was your age, I had holes in my shoes, and I had to put cardboard in them and walk to school every day, like typical like grandma stuff. So yeah, she's a really eccentric like old lady. She's about 4'11" right here. She's Italian. I don't know, she's just a really awesome lady. And yeah, so today I'm going to talk about kind of like my relationship with her that I had, and then her death, and then how it affected me. So yeah, this is El Centro, California. It's kind of right on the way to San Diego. I don't know if you guys drive to San Diego at all. Right after you pass Yuma, you're going to pass it. It's pretty much like a pit stop on the way to San Diego. And that's pretty much where I grew up. I was born there in El Centro, and I moved here when I was pretty little. But I would pretty much spend all my summers there. My grandma, just my regular grandma, my mom's mom, she lived right next door to my great grandma. So naturally, we developed a really close relationship with each other. I would see her every time I went down there. We would talk. We would go out and do things. And I don't know, she was just a really cool lady. That's her right there on the right. This is us when we're really little. That's me on the bottom right. That's my sister and brother and my little cousins. And that's her husband right there. So as you can see, they look like really nice people. And I don't know, she's just a really cool lady. She's I don't know, she's like a little fireball. She drank constantly throughout the day, all day. So I don't know, she's just really cool. And but naturally, as I got older, they started to get older too. Yeah, that's her again. So yeah, it was like around September, I think, of my senior year, and I had gone down there just like I do pretty much all the time. My mom moved there when I was a junior in high school. She moved back there to El Centro, so I would visit constantly. And so it was just pretty much like every day, you know, I went and saw her, we talked, and she started telling me these stories about like how her and my grandpa met, and like just all these like really weird like stories I'd never heard. I was just like, oh, okay, Grandma, sounds good. All right, well, I'll see you later. And I hugged her goodbye. You know, I never really thought anything, but that ended up being the last time I saw her for that same day, actually. She had fallen like on her hip and broke her hip, and if like you get older, that's like kind of a really serious thing. So they flew her to San Diego, and she ended up dying later that night. And it was just like a really big shock, because she has about like 40 great-grandchildren, 20 grandchildren. It's like a really big family. She's kind of like the glue that held everything together. And so she died, and like everyone, it was just like a really shock throughout the whole entire family. But it was really sad, because I had never lost anyone really that close to me before. And so it did teach me a few things. That's my sister and them too. It did teach me a few things when she did die. It pretty much just taught me that you really shouldn't like sweat the little things in life, because like something so precious as like a life like that can just be gone. Like the second, like I had no idea she was gonna die when I saw her, and you know, I kind of wish I did, because I would have told her, you know, how much I care about her. So it kind of just taught me basically to always keep those you love really close to you, because you know the next day they might not be there. And pretty much after she died, I'd kind of like my mom was really like torn up about it, because she was really close, and I just kind of had to get through it with her and like pretty much tell her like, you know, like you have to kind of move on. Eventually things happen, and her death really, since she was such a nice old lady, kind of just taught me like not to be so stressed out about everything. She was a really carefree person, so it taught me just, you know, just live your life. Don't stress out about the little things, and don't, you know, yeah, pretty much. So basically, I told you guys about my background information with her, about our relationship, how she died, and how it affected me. So thank you. I know it's kind of depressing, but I didn't really have anything.